there. Today we are talking about shipping. I've been studying boating and shipping all day today of sailing the high seas. Oh no, tidal wave! What?
You do realize that this is about relation shipping, not ships.
Oh, yeah, I know that. Yeah, I was kidding. No, seriously. Hey guys, it's Kanan.
It's Jesse.
And we are the Geeky Saying Couple, here back with another video. This one is going to be all about shipping, and not just RWBY. We do have one RWBY ship we're going to be talking about, but it's mostly other fandoms, including other cartoons, anime, video games, comics, stuff like that. Real quick, once again, thank you to the ones who have already subscribed to the channel, even though there's still not a whole lot up yet. We apologize for that. The other day was my birthday.
Yeah.
We had to get up very early today to catch the Bumblebee merch that Rooster Teeth dropped today. So it's been a really wild couple of days. But we do have 2 other videos besides this one planned out to come out for the rest of the week.
Possibly another one after that.
Yeah, hopefully our RWBY Chapter 2 reaction gets unblocked tomorrow.
It was blocked the other day.
Yeah, for some reason it seems like everybody has been getting late blocks, but hopefully it'll be unblocked by tomorrow. If not, it'll be out as soon as it can. We will not drop our Chapter 2 overview video until it is out, but we will be recording our Chapter 3 reaction and overview tomorrow for Patreon. But this video and the other 2 videos we have planned are not going to be Patreon exclusive because we need to get more videos out on the channel to get more interest up. But thank you for 18 subscribers. It's kind of wild that we only have like 4 videos, one of them being a real true video, and we've already got close to 20. So thank you. Don't know if you guys can tell, but we got a new camera. It's not an expensive one, but it's better than just the laptop camera. Next, we plan to get
a
better mic, and just go from there. But okay, so how we're going to do these is we're going to start with small ships. Also, these are also ships that we also cosplay as.
We do cosplay quite a few of these, but these first ones will be
just little fun ships.
They're fun ships, but they do have meaning to us. It's why we cosplay them, but they're just not as major as the later ones.
Yeah. So we're going to do cosplays we are going to do ships that we cosplay. Then we're going to do
like personal meaning ships, and then ships that we both really, really have a lot of meaning to us, leading up to the greatest ones.
So she'll have 2 ships, I'll have 2 ships, and the rest of them will be just ones we like, and then ones that are the most important. I think you also grabbed some slides for each one.
Yeah, I grabbed some pictures and cosplay pictures mixed in with some of them.
All right. So we're going to start with the first one. The first one is, of course, Goku and Chi-Chi. Yes, this is the Geeky Saying Couple. We are going to be doing some Dragon Ball content here soon. Now, a lot of people don't 100% count these as ships because
they're married.
Yeah, they're married. They're, it's a thing in the show. And of course, a lot of people do not like Chi-Chi. Mostly in early Dragon Ball Z, everybody liked her good enough in original Dragon Ball because she was still a fighter. She wasn't a domineering mother. But
later she shows she still can fight.
Yeah,
quite a bit.
She does get a bit better in late Dragon Ball Z, and she's also not as domineering in Super.
This is kind of special for us, though. Still, well, it's kind of where our name came from, but just a childhood thing. But I know not a lot of people did Chi-Chi, and regardless of how she was, I love Chi-Chi. So it kind of fit, and I was really happy to be able to, it kind of convenient when we met that he loved Goku, so Chi-Chi kind of just naturally fit.
R.I.P. my old Goku wig.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. We'll do a story on that soon.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of funny.
This is also my most comfortable cosplay I own.
Same for me. It's kind of like walking around in your pajamas, really. I think we have gotten stopped for more pictures in these cosplays than any other, together,
Yeah.
at least.
We get stopped a lot, which future, having a baby will make this even more fun. All the things that we've already thought of that we could do, but
You had to bring that up.
Hey, it'll be fun to have. Okay.
Okay, next is, of course, Leon and Ada from the Resident Evil series. Now, there's a lot of discussion if this ship has actually happened in the games. I'm a huge Resident Evil fan. Since she doesn't really do horror games, she can't do some of them. Since 6 kind of sucks. She could handle it because it was more of an action game than a horror game. Though if you put in, say, Resident Evil 2 remake, where these two are in, where they first met, she can only watch the cutscenes.
Yeah, it depends. No.
Though it is hinted in Resident Evil Damnation, the CGI movie, that they did spend a night together. So I think I don't think it'll ever be
There's
a real
no room
there.
for romance.
It'll never be a real romance. It's kind of like
it's implied.
Yeah, well, it's kind
slightly.
It's more of just like a physical relationship more than likely. Because I still think at the end of the day, Leon probably doesn't trust Ada, and she's done enough things in the games to warrant that. She's betrayed him like how many times, but she's also saved his life and has shown that she does have a soft spot for him. And plus, I just always like this because Leon is my most favorite male character in the Resident Evil series, even though sadly he did take part in one of the worst games in the series, that being Resident Evil 6.
Wherever he is, she's like behind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because of course they met in 2. She was not in Resident Evil Degeneration. She was not in that one. That's the only appearance Leon's made in, I guess, I'm not counting side games here, like the Umbrella Chronicles or the Dark Side Chronicles or anything like that. But, all the main games, of course, Resident Evil 2 was when they met. They were in Resident Evil 4, which, everybody loves that game. Then, of course, they were in Resident Evil 6. They were in Resident Evil Damnation. She wasn't in the more recent CGI movie either. So there has been a couple of appearances by Leon that she's not been in, but it's mostly the CGI movies.
Seems they're going 2, 4, 6. Okay, well, does that mean when they make an 8? It would make sense. It would kind of look odd if you ask me.
Who knows? A lot of people loved 7, including me. Resident Evil was scary again. Yeah, she does not like 7 at all because it's too scary for her.
I was having an anxiety attack just sitting across the room.
But yeah, hopefully in 8 they do bring back some of the classic characters back.
We need to redo this. Shoot.
Yeah. That was a while ago. Next is going to be, this is one more for you to talk to.
Yeah. Now, this ship it's both just something we cosplay, but it's also something special. He's made it something special, though, because it was something part of my childhood. So this is where it gets in for me and starts going into my ships. Now, the moment that I have on the screen means a lot more to me than a lot of people realize. And I know I've posted it on Twitter. My childhood dream when I was little was being the Moon Princess and being, married to Prince Endymion. Well, he made that a reality. And I waited forever to see this in English. So this was amazing to see once it came out. But this is she was my childhood hero. So she means the world to me. And that would be the moment that I will probably cry out for the rest of my life.
Yeah, it's funny about this because I was scared to death. All of our friends staying
Our
with us.
entire room.
Yeah, our entire room knew about it. She was the only one. I had made it very clear that whole entire day that I had not been able to afford a ring. Wasn't going to happen at this con. Like, you would think as much as I brought it up, she would have caught
I
wind.
started doubting it. Like, I
Yeah,
just
so
thought,
I
okay,
did that
well,
just so it would be more of a surprise. And then the funny thing is, we were at this photo shoot. I go to get something out of my bag, which was the ring. Took forever because I kept fumbling it in my bag. I could not find it for the life of me. She did not notice. She did not notice that our friends who never came to our photo shoots were all standing around, one of them recording it because there was a baby that was in cosplay
and
as part
there
of the
was a
shoot.
baby Chibiusa for a couple that we've become friends with who also do Goku and Chi-Chi, ironically. But I was so distracted by the baby
She
and
did not
wanting to
notice
help.
a thing.
Nope. I was more trying to make sure that the baby didn't, because she didn't like the grass, so I let her sit on my dress and all that. But I was so wanting to make her happy that I didn't even notice.
She didn't realize that I still had my glasses on because I usually take my glasses off for photo shoots. And the thing that I really thought would have tipped her off was that I had an idea for a picture, which I never do because I was never into Sailor Moon. You know, I only watched it because Dragon Ball Z came on after it. You thought that would have, like, you know, since when does he have an idea for a picture? So I told her to stand with her back to me, and then that's when I did it. You know, and she has a little music box that plays the Sailor.
It's the locket they share,
Yeah.
and when it opens, I mean, there's a official version, but this version looks exactly like in the anime I grew up with. And you open it, it plays their song, and I don't know how he timed it because there's always a delay when you open it, but
I pretty much opened it, and the delay pretty much allowed me to place the ring inside of it.
yeah, and that was the one little detail that I told him almost. See, now it'd be like 13 years ago. I told him this years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, a long time ago.
And the locket was the one little detail that I started crying. I couldn't answer. I don't know if he said anything. I just started crying, and all I could do was nod.
I just told you to turn around.
Yeah.
And, like, I couldn't even say, you know, will you marry me, because I couldn't talk.
I didn't even know if he said it, but the fact that I just saw it, started crying, I couldn't get words out, so I finally resorted to nodding, and all you see is the little buns bobbing up and down, and
that was such a stressful con because I was scared to death the whole entire weekend. Like, just having to keep it to myself, make sure I didn't screw it up, make sure none of our, like, it was just very, very, very nervous. Oh god, there's that that original Tuxedo Mask cosplay.
Yeah, we've upgraded.
Yeah,
and we're still upgrading again to actually make it better.
Because this is when you still lived in Ohio, and you pretty much made it without me being there.
Which it worked out, but hey, and the Mamoru is actually a really good friend of ours who they like to do fighting poses where they're fighting over me. So we see him everywhere. But yeah, this ship just means so much to me, and now for both of us since he made that come true. And then let's see. Now, still sticking with Sailor Moon, onto my ships would be these two. See, me growing up, everyone says, what was your anime crush growing up? Okay, I had two. So, it was Mamoru and Haruka.
I thought they were cousins.
I knew right away they weren't cousins. I'm sorry, you don't look at your cousin like that. At least that's how I see things.
But, well, also, they probably helped you realize that.
Yeah, especially at a young age, since I've seen Sailor Moon since I was like 6. So, yeah, they did help of a lot of realization growing up, and to me seeing, okay, well, this is okay, you know, yeah, I hid it for like most of my life, but the fact that I knew that, hey, she likes a girl too. But now I don't exactly have a Uranus, though I have a friend that once she comes back from Arizona.
That was her art, by the way.
Yes, that's my art. Any art you see in here most likely is mine. But
Most likely.
well, I have credited others, and there's names on them, but I badly need a new wig. But the Neptune is definitely, between Sailor Moon and Neptune are my two absolute favorite that I do cosplay myself. But yeah, that ship does mean quite a bit to me. So actually, and then also with Sailor Stars now being out, at least part one, seeing some moments finally actually translated in English was the greatest thing ever. And
I know that feeling.
yes, finally seeing that, waiting like my entire life at this point, and just I can't wait for the rest of it just to see the other moments.
Now to
See,
your
and
number 2.
my number 2 is Harley and Ivy. Yeah, anytime I see,
Confirmed, by the way.
yes, confirmed, and I was so excited to see that, because, I'm sorry, Harley and Joker, no. Every time I see the memes, it says I want a relationship like this. No. Mm-mm. No. Let me stop you there. Because
if you're expecting Mark Hamill Joker, then something's wrong with it. Like, yeah.
Yeah, no. And this has slight personal ties, too, because seeing the abusive relationship Harley was in, I've been in one. So actually seeing her with somebody else who actually cares about her, who it's a healthy relationship, and
I don't know about healthy relationship. They're both pretty messed up.
Yes, but I meant compared to Joker.
Yeah. Ivy does. Ivy definitely doesn't hit Harley.
No, and she cares about Harley, and you can physically see that. But yeah, I'm just really happy that it was confirmed.
Yeah, for sure.
Now we just need to see this on screen, because Margaret Robbie is all for this.
Yep.
And this is also my art, and my design. I took quite a while to figure this out, and it will be available in our shops, custom things. I don't think I have it listed yet, but it's on our Square store, and if anyone is ever interested, just message me, because I can put it on anything. It's all hand-painted. As well as this is my most recent redo of an original one that I did. I don't think I have I didn't find my actual Harley picture in there. And obviously he doesn't do Ivy.
No.
But he did we have friends that do a female Joker, Batman, and he did the Riddler, which that shoot was actually kind of fun, minus the yellow tone we had. It was, and we had a friend. One day I'll have to post this one day, but we had a friend that was Catwoman. She's an amazing Catwoman, and she came out of nowhere, and she goes, "Shh!" And
she was the Michelle Pfeiffer version too, and it was amazing.
And we had an Ivy, but we looked like pretty much Batman knocked us all out. So our Joker, she looked at Batman and goes, just go with it, okay?
Yeah,
don't freak out. He couldn't see anything.
Yeah,
he goes, just go with it, is what she told him. And he goes, okay. And then he feels this rope or something around his neck, and he goes, and well, I know it was her whip, but he didn't know what it was. And just the perfect picture of Catwoman joining in, like she's choking him. It came out awesome. It was definitely a favorite picture.
Now it's my turn, is it? Very, very recent new ship. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are Fire Emblem fans. And I have to say, I love Fire Emblem Three Houses. I have over 400 hours into the game.
Yeah.
And I love Byleth. I don't know the official way to say her name, so I'm just going to say it like that. But I love Byleth and Edelgard. I don't know why, but I've done several playthroughs of Byleth with Dorothea, with Mercedes, with Rhea, and all that. But I don't know. It just seems like all the same-sex relationships for Byleth, for female Byleth. This one just carries a lot more weight and depth, and I mean it's probably the single most popular ship from the game because you look on Twitter, it's nothing but female Byleth and Edelgard. I think the second most is maybe that I've seen is female Byleth with Dimitri. That's about it. But yeah, for me, for my head canon, for my personal canon of Fire Emblem Three Houses, this is their romance and them ending up together is the canon for me. Now my next one. Oh, this is going back to my my real early days. Well, I wouldn't say early days of gaming, but uh, I got into Mass Effect, of course, during the first one, back on the 360, back when I still played Microsoft consoles, and I just really fell in love with Mass Effect. But back then, I was still playing as a male character. And then I got to a point where I was like, you know what? I've played a male character in all these games, self insert character, or just, in games where you're forced to play as a male character. Let's try a female character, see how it's different. I mean, I was going to go for Liara anyway, because for me, Liara was the best romance in the first Mass Effect. And I fell in love with playing as female Shepard because I think Jennifer Hale did such a great job voicing her. And I don't know, I think it was mostly that. It was the delivery. And, of course, the lovely Ali Hillis voicing Liara, who a character that she also voices is going to show up later in this video. Um, just it hit it off for me. And then we got to Mass Effect 2, and I was kind of put off by how they made Liara come off in Mass Effect 2. She came off so cold and so just like she didn't care about Shepard anymore. But we all, if you've played the Mass Effect trilogy, we all know why she did that. Um, though I have to admit, if they had, because it was confirmed by BioWare that Miranda was originally supposed to be a romance option for both male and female Shepard. If that had happened, Liara might have had some stiffy competition. I can't believe I just said that. That was not on purpose. But then Mass Effect 3 came, and oh boy, I loved Mass Effect 3 until the last 5 minutes. Yep,
Yeah.
I'm one of them people who completely hate Mass Effect 3's ending. I think it was a forced ending. I think it was a very restrictive ending. They did the exact same. They did the exact thing they said they weren't going to do, which was give us an ABC ending, and they did it. Um, but I've got my own headcanon for what happened after the events of Mass Effect 3 because I always picked the destroy ending. But yeah, this was just one of those gaming romances that I couldn't wait to see end. I just wanted to see where it would end up. Um, I'm just sad we never got to see those little blue children in within the game itself. But I guess that's what fan art and fan fiction's for.
Eventually, Liara is actually on my list. Not that he can do a female shepherd, but he's going to do a male shepherd, which we're still going to do. But Liara is definitely on my list. It's just, I have the skills to do this now, but the headpiece costs a lot of money. I've never worked with latex to actually make a headpiece, but painting, it's not an issue. It's, like I said, affording it. But eventually down the line, we're going to be planning, I'll probably start practice construction now that I've been doing so many, jackets, especially with Blake. Her jacket fits slightly similar, so I'm actually probably going to start construction on repatterning Liara's jacket now that I've got a little bit of a better handle on that. And now...
It's for ships we both like.
Yes. Nope. Been to that one.
You didn't put a hotkey for that one, did you?
Yeah, I did. Let's do it that way.
Okay, so Shizuma and Nagisa from Strawberry Panic. This was the first how I say this, because a lot of people do not like the term Yuri, but that's the only way I really know how to explain it. This was the first Yuri anime that I ever saw, and the ending made me cry. Like, I called her with tears in my eyes, and
I remember this phone
and
call.
I said, "Hun, that is the most beautiful ending I have ever seen in all my life." Like, it made me cry because it was the music, just everything that had happened in the series. I still do not know why this never got an English dub.
I would have
Um,
loved to see English stuff. Now, I was supposed to wait to watch it until I came down here, but because of my work schedule,
yeah,
he goes, watch it. We found a site for me to watch it, and I fell in love with it. And I was
and
like,
then
you
I
know what?
bought you the DVDs and sent them to you.
Yes, and I watched them so much. This also leads to a cosplay that I still haven't done because figuring it out. But I don't originally wanted to do Nagisa, but Shizuma kind of fits. Like, I don't know. I want to do her more. But I need to find someone to do Nagisa with me so everyone would actually know who we are.
Yeah, and this anime led us to watching others like Yorori, um, Kashimashi Girl Meets Girl, um, even Saki, which isn't exactly a full on anime like that, but it's definitely got the subtext and all that of one.
What about my favorite you didn't think I'd like?
Oh, which one was
The
that?
Growl Growl.
Oh,
Yuri Kuma?
Yuri Kuma. Yeah, yeah. One of the weirdest animes I've ever seen in all my
He
life.
didn't think I'd like it,
I
and
didn't think I was
I
gonna like it.
felt I was a little confused at first, but then I fell in love with it, and then just the growl growl. It was so cute.
Next is another video game one.
Next,
Yep, we are price filled
yes.
trash. I think she fell in love with this way more than I did.
God, did I?
Um, I remember when the game came out. Like, I didn't really I didn't hear much about Life is Strange until like the final episode came out. Then that's when it like really blew up for me anyway. And all the reaction video, like the people posting videos of people's reactions to the ending, whether what ending they chose, and just crying and all that. I never cried, but it was definitely an emotional roller coaster. That's for sure. I really enjoyed Life is Strange. Um, Before the Storm was okay. Um, and I know we're gonna have people say, "Oh, Rachel and Chloe is better," but I've always had an issue with Chloe and Rachel because we do find out in the first game that Rachel lied to Chloe, kept some stuff from her, which I mean, yeah, Max did abandon her and for some reason never called her or emailed her,
Yeah.
but Max tried to make up for it, and I am glad. I think it's kind of funny that they decided to take the comics and go with the Chloe lives ending.
Yeah.
I've not seen the rest of the comic. I've finished the we've got the complete set of the first run. Um, which spoiler alert if you've not read them, which they've been out for a good number of months. Uh, Chloe and Max do kiss in the comics, so I guess you could say in that story's canon that it's canon.
Yeah.
Um, but it's a tricky subject. It's one of those games where the player makes their decision. So I mean, it's always one of those things where you can say in your canon that yeah, it is in fact canon.
Yeah. And I actually do cosplay Chloe. Um, and in the description, I will put links to any of my other cosplay friends. My Max is actually Flying Free Cosplay, and our Kate, I'm going to make sure I say this right, is Tales of Myrrh. I will put a link in the description of their cosplay pages. They're awesome. We plan to do another shoot. This was just kind of a small thing.
And this was a while ago,
Yes,
too.
it was a while ago, and we're going to get to this type of picture later on as well, with moments and in another video. Um, Me and her both wanted this picture because it meant so much. And actually, another one of my friends, I didn't, you couldn't really see it, but my arm is glaring a little bit. I actually had one of our friends hand paint her tattoo down my arm because we ran out of tattoo paper, didn't have printer ink, she didn't have printer ink, so I drove all the way across busy Columbus to the college to have her paint this in her studio classroom. So, and then racing back just to make it on time, and I was a little bit late, but it ended up working out a bit.
Next one's another video game one, and
Yes.
it is Female Hawk and Isabella from Dragon Age 2. Now, every time I have played this game, once again, first time I played Dragon Age 2, I played as Male Hawk, and then after I decided that I preferred playing as female characters, I went with um, Female Hawk, because I will admit I do like Female Hawk. Default Female Hawk's design better. I also prefer her voice actress. Um, but I discovered in this game, if you play as Sarcastic Hawk, because in Dragon Age 2, you can pretty much define Hawk's personality. You can either be like, the goody two shoes good guy, you can be a not very nice person, and you
Yeah.
can be a smart aleck, a sarcastic smart aleck. And Sarcastic Hawk and Isabella pretty much make the perfect pair.
Yes.
Because just like it plus being sarcastic helps you raise her affection way higher. Same with Varric. Like, it's very easy to become friends with Varric if you're
I love
sarcastic.
Eric. He is just awesome.
Sadly, a lot of people did not like Dragon Age 2 because compared to Origins and definitely Inquisition, it was not a very big game. It was very constrictive and all that. But I will say, of Dragon Age 2, I think the party members and characters were written probably the best. Well, there's some characters in Inquisition that are really good, but I really think a lot of them were better written in this than they were in Origins. Origins can be very bland sometimes as far as characters go. But yeah, like every time I play Dragon Age 2, every time I go back to it, um, my female Hawk, which is funny because I usually play as a Mage Hawk, because I feel like Mage Hawk has more to do
It's
with the
usually
story.
what I go for.
Because it's the whole Mage versus Templar thing that eventually happens within the game, and a Hawk being a Mage kind of makes more sense. But yeah, I always go for the seductive pirate.
When he sent me this to look into, I think he sent me the game too.
Mm-hmm.
I fell in love with
Yeah,
Isabella.
because by that time the game was really cheap.
Yes, I fell in love with her, and it was before he even mentioned her. I was just like, so I have a favorite. I mean, come on, look at her. You kind of can't, but just the first time you see her, how pretty much taking out all these guys
In a bar.
and then just going back to her drink like it was nothing. But yeah, I fell in love with her and I had to cosplay her. Fortunately, we still don't have his Hawk. It is a very complicated cosplay, especially with the fur. I finally have the belt buckle.
A little bit of chainmail.
Yes, and let me just tell you, these boots, okay, for her character type, why would you have boots up to your thighs with like 1,000 buckles? Unless she leaves them on, I don't know. We have a love-hate relationship with these boots, but third time's the charm, and I finally have boots that actually fit. The rest of the cosplay, finally, it's taken some time, but because it's BioWare. I mean, video game logic, and costumes just don't make sense. And so this took forever, but I definitely made sure I picked her romanced outfit. Because I don't know, I liked the black more. But yeah, so that's a future cosplay that's hopefully this year coming, now that we've actually figured out all the details.
Next one is yet again another video game.
But also very special.
Yeah. Sora and Kairi from Kingdom Hearts. Now, back when I was much younger, freshman year in high school, I was sitting at home and, you get home from school, especially, back in 2002, I believe it was still. You'd come home, get in some comfy clothes, get something cold to drink, sit down, watch TV. And this very interesting trailer came on. Pretty much Disney makes Final Fantasy. Now, as someone who was a huge fan of Disney growing up, and then someone who fell in love with Japanese RPGs, including Final Fantasy, this was like, it's like, the first person who put peanut butter and chocolate together. And so I mowed the yard, I did all this so I could afford this game, got it, fell in love with it. Kingdom Hearts 2 was the first game I ever pre-ordered. And for me, ever since Kingdom Hearts 1, they've been building this relationship. Now, did they do the best job at it? No. Is there still a heck of a lot of problems with Kyrie's character? Yes. But they did the one thing in Kingdom Hearts 3 that I personally did not think they were going to do, and that was pretty much make them canon. They finally did the Palpu fruit that they've been teasing at since Kingdom Hearts 1, as you see right here, and which was such a cool callback to the first game. So I remember, Kingdom Hearts is one of those series where the moment Kingdom Hearts 3 came up on the screen and Dearly Beloved started playing, I started crying. Because this has been, I'm not one of those people who've been crying for years. Where's Kingdom Hearts 3? Where's Kingdom Hearts 3? Because there's more to this series than the numbered titles. If you don't, Birth by Sleep is a great game. Dream Drop Distance is not my most enjoyable, but it's still a good game. Then you have games like Recoded and Chain of Memories, where I'm just like, oh gosh, I gotta play through this again. But this ship is the most important because it's the first conversation me and her had when we met. We pretty much bonded over Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, this was, I was first introduced to Kingdom Hearts, though, to the second game. That led me to go and find the first game. But yeah, when we had met and started talking that first night, Kingdom Hearts came up. I don't remember how the conversation came up, but that was pretty much it. It started everything. And that's why, this picture meant so much, especially seeing it in 3. Then seeing them actually share the fruit, I had tears. It made me so happy to be able to see that, and so that us getting to cosplay that last year at OhioCon, and we got to meet Goofy, and he, as soon as we walked up, started talking as Goofy, commenting on our Keyblades, and it was so surreal, and it was just amazing. It just kind of made everything that con.
Max was with him too.
Yes, Max was sitting right next to him, which we got to meet both of them. But yeah, it meant a lot for us to finally get to do it. We do plan on doing 2's version as well because I really like the outfits. Eventually, the zippers. Blake's turning into this. But anyways, yeah, that's just, so that ship really means a lot to us. And then from here on, the rest of the ships also have great meaning. The next one,
another video game pairing. This was her, besides the Sailor Moon one, this was the first, I think, same-sex pairing you really got into.
Yes, and I'm
the one that introduced her to it.
Just the one day, us talking, he just said, okay, I'm going to send you all these characters. Tell me which ones you like. The first one that I picked out and kept going to was Lightning. Then Fang. So it added up. And I picked Sarah out just because it looked like the first one, but he didn't tell me who these people were. And I was so hooked. He ended up sending me the games. He ended up sending me...
You watched all 3 games
all 3 games as a movie.
And I've
played it. I've still, need to play it again. But
Now, yes, we know a lot of people hate Final Fantasy 13.
yeah.
Well, guess what? I don't think 7's all that great. I've never liked 7. I forced myself to beat it. 13, this is coming from a guy who's played every Final Fantasy. 13, I really liked the themes of 13. The whole theme of loss and stuff like that. And like, it's funny because every character that pairs off in this game represents something the other is lost. Like there's people who, for some reason, ship Lightning with Hope. A woman in her 20s with a kid. When really, Hope represents what Lightning just lost, which is her sister. She's lost a younger sibling, where Lightning, for him, represents his mother that he just lost. He lost his parental figure. And it's the same with all the other characters. Now, though sadly nothing happened between Lightning and Fang in the original games, me and a lot of others really picked up on some sexual tension between the two. And apparently, I think it was confirmed that Fang was originally going to be male.
And Lightning would have had
Lightning was supposed to
somewhat
have
of Fang's personality.
Yeah, she was supposed to have more of a flirty personality. So it was kind of theorized that
hinted at
that if Fang had stayed as a male character, she might have really been
her love interest.
Yeah, her love interest. And then of course there's the whole Fang and Vanille thing. I'm sorry, I only see them as sisters.
I can't see it either. I mean, I know there's people that ship it, but going off of the things we know from the pre-development stuff,
and it fits with the theme of the game.
It does fit. And if you actually pay attention to a lot of other things, like the tension, obviously, and stuff, the flirting, it's like...
Fang's the only one to see Lightning's mark, which is on her chest.
Yeah, which I have, actually. But another thing is...
Fang was also the only past party member to return as a party member in Lightning Returns.
Yes. And the moments there, and there's a moment at the end, towards the end, that a lot of people at first didn't see until they went back. About being by her side and all that. And when all of them start showing up around her when she's fighting, the last person to show up at her side and the look she gives her was Fang.
Yeah,
like, she actually smiles towards her. Like, she's on the side of her. And
I think the only other one that gets a really big reaction is Sarah.
Yeah,
which is,
that's
of course,
the only
Lightning's
other
sister.
one. And, it's just, to me, that was a huge moment. Now, Lightning was also my very first cosplay. She needs redone badly, but...
It's also the character you've cosplayed the most.
Yes, and I've been quite known for her. This picture is actually one of my close friends, Sam. She hasn't pulled Fang out in quite a while.
Yeah, this was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago, but, yeah... We wanted to do this. There's more pictures to this shoot that I'm not going to put in this video. But, yeah, this character just has so much meaning to me. Lightning, like Sailor Moon, has come to be this, yeah. And then we've got his male version, and had to have some fun with that.
This actually got a pretty big response when I first posted it.
But she's come just as important as Sailor Moon to me in my life. Same thing with Neptune. Because I used to be my anxiety used to be really, really bad. I had very bad self-confidence in a lot of things, and I was terrified the first time I went to my con, and Colossal Con of all places, this giant con. And I don't know, there's something about this character that she helped me through so much. Just when I get to finally meet Allie, I'm going to tell her this. She said she loves hearing stuff like this, and it makes her feel even better for the characters that she brought to life. But yeah, Lightning means so much to me, which is why I decided to get her brand, which I did a lot of research to make sure it was in the right spot.
And you actually, you did meet Fang's voice actress.
Yes, I met Rachel Robinson, and
didn't she could see Lightning and
she
Fang?
did. She actually, in a message to me, personally, because I had asked her if she had a list of cons that had gone to that we could, potentially meet her. She had told me, she said she did see Fang and Vanille, but the thing is they don't see the characters like
we do.
They're just given a script and they have to read it. They don't know the background history of anything. But she said that she could see it too, because the way the interaction was. But I got to meet her.
Fang does flirt with Lightning.
Yes. I got to meet her and I kept asking, you sure you're gonna be okay? You're not gonna, I was shaking. I was so excited. Actually, I forgot the blades to my lance.
Yeah, of all the times, forget
all
the
the
blades.
Times to forget it. But she took a picture with me and actually held the lance like there was the blades on it. She signed my lance. She actually signed my sword for Lightning, and left a space for Allie to sign next to it. So, yeah, it was definitely an amazing day.
Now, this next one I'm going to brag a little bit about. That's right, we're bringing out the Korrasami.
Yes.
The first ship, the first same-sex ship out of an American cartoon that I got right. And I will always say that till the day I die, because I had been pushing this for a while, and the moment it happened, I wish I had filmed myself, because it was, oh my gosh, that's, not since I was in middle school was I reading so much fan fiction, and looking up fan art and all that, and I was just hoping and praying that they were going to do comics like they did The Last Airbender, which, of course, they did. And we finally got, the I love you in that. We got the kiss. We got a little bit more explanation to how it happened, because, people were fussing, complaining, oh, it came out of nowhere. No, it had been there since book 3.
Go back and watch again.
And they even explained that in the comic, that winning, you could say it was in book 3 because of how much time they start spending together, but they actually talked about it was actually kind of after book 3, and the time they were away from each other is when they both realized they had feelings for each other. Come on. At the beginning of book 4, Asami was ready to drop her company to go back home with Korra and stay with her. Come on. And it's so funny. I still see Makora fans attack Korrasami fans. Now, I'm not saying all of them do.
No.
It's the toxic ones. And I still don't understand why people wanted them to get back together, because Mako was not a good boyfriend to either of them. And so, it's understandable in a way, because early in Korra's run, they were just a bunch of kids. And I'm sorry. When the moment Korra said to Mako, I really like you, and I think we're meant to be together, I was like, you just met a couple of days. I was like, yep, that's teenagers for you. But,
first time I saw him, I didn't like him.
No, Mako definitely got way more likable in book 3.
Though.
Yeah.
I absolutely love Bolin.
even when Bolin was putting the moves on Korra in book 1, you still,
you couldn't help but not.
I think the first scene that ever, you really felt sorry for him was when he saw Mako and Korra kiss, and he ran away crying.
Yes,
but he ran away like this,
and it
was sad and funny at the same time. But
and as a surprise to him, when he was watching and was getting me into it and watching, I actually made him a Naga.
He's right back there.
Yep, big, decent sized Naga plushie, and
I carry it around at every con I take Korra to.
And funny enough, at the convention at Colossal Con when we got engaged, I had made an engagement water tribe pendant, and I kept it in my makeup box. And he goes, "Hey,
don't wear that.
Don't wear that. Just pack it And then when I was like, hey, should I wear this? You know, when we were getting ready to go, just walk around in our beach versions of them. And she goes, no. He goes, save that. We'll do that another day.
And then
Literally just over my
and then
head.
the day you had your
Yes, the
swimsuit
day.
shoot is the day you could wear it.
Yeah, I had a swimsuit for Asami, and which are up on my Patreon right now because dreaming of warmer days. But she's like, she showcased the necklace, the ring, and she goes, come on. She goes, you have, wear it. No other core really wears it. And I actually suggested it to a friend. Her and her wife do, core and Asami, and I said, why don't you guys should add that pendant. And she goes, that's a good idea. She goes, I saw your picture. So she's probably going to add that too, because not many people think to do that. I've only seen it in art so much.
Yeah. And are we on the last one?
Yes.
Here's the big
Nope.
one.
There we go. Nope. Where'd it go?
There it is.
Ah, okay, that's why.
Technical difficulties.
There
and
we
of
go.
course, we have got to mention the Bumblebee. Oh, if we had a lot of subscribers, I'd hate to see the comment section right now.
Yeah, and this is where I was saying the head touching thing.
Yeah.
Means so much, and we use that with other cosplays, but this is where I was leading to.
Now, there is a very real life reason why we love this ship so much.
And that is a video coming soon.
Yes, we can't talk about this one because this video would be 3 hours long.
Yeah.
It's more than just it being LGBT representation, which I'm an ally of. She's bisexual, so we are supporters of that. It's more than that. But the thing about this ship is, as I've said in a past, I think I've said it like in our intro video. You can say it's forced. You can say it's pandering. I'm not a writer. I mean, I've wrote a little bit of stuff, but I wouldn't say I'm an expert
I write
on it.
more than you.
Yeah. And here's the thing: if it wasn't planned from the beginning, adding it later is not a bad thing. Writing changes over time.
Yeah.
You can't write something that's for a television show, and you don't have the choice of doing rewrites 1,000 times over like you can a book. And the thing is, and no matter what year and time it is, LGBT content will always be seen as forced. It'll always be seen as pandering because there's people out there in the world who are not used to it. But there's a reason why people have shipped these two since at least Volume 2. And the reason why it seems forced and pandering is because a lot of you are so used to romance being
In your face.
in your face. Yes.
Instead of built. Like,
Yes.
I personally believe this was built correctly. Like, it wasn't just, oh, okay, well, I'm in love with her.
A wise man once said romance has to be earned. That you can't just shove it out there. And the thing about these two is a thing that a lot of people run into that's a problem is people write for romance instead of writing for characters. And I think Semblance of Sanity also said this in one of their reactions to Volume 6. If you write strictly for romance, things are going to fall flat. If you write characters first, then you can add romance. And that's what needed to happen with these two. That's the reason why you don't see a whole lot of it. You see subtle hints in the early volumes because they had to build to it. The reason why they didn't make Blake and Yang canon and an early volume is because they still had a lot of growth to go, and they're still growing. They're not an official couple yet. They've still got to build on that. People are saying that it came out of nowhere, that it was forced, it's parenting. How can you say that when they're not a couple yet?
They're still building, and everyone's like, well, okay, well, they should have kissed at the end of last volume. No. I mean,
They could have done it,
but they didn't.
It wasn't at the right time. They literally just had to kill a guy because he wouldn't leave them alone.
Yeah.
Now we're not going to get into the whole Adam thing and people not knowing the difference between self-defense and murder, but
which will in our personal video we will probably touch on that a bit more because there's a little bit there's reasons to touch on things like that.
It's kind of funny. One of the weirdest arguments I've seen. It's right up there with, it'll ruin the team dynamic, which, I mean, Team Juniper kind of disagrees with that. Is at the end of Volume 3, Yang showing up to try and save Blake from Adam was coincidence, or that could have been anybody. I'm sorry, when you're writing a story that is planned out, coincidence doesn't exist. It's not like they went, okay, rock, paper, scissors. Oh, I got scissors. It'll be Yang. You know, that's...
It doesn't work that way.
But anyway...
It's also when you start pulling into parallels, too, which...
But, you know, I don't know what is up with the RWBY fandom, but I have never, in any other fandom I've been a part of, have I ever seen such toxic attitude toward a same-sex ship becoming canon. People are acting like when this happened that it was the end of the world. It's like, guys, it's a cartoon. You know, I mean, it's not the end of the world. Because, I mean, the way it's been built, are they a canon couple yet? No. Are they canon in the term that they have mutual feelings for each other? Yes. Whatever happens, happens. I mean, tomorrow we're getting Chapter 3, which is the episode where we're getting the new outfits, the haircuts. So we'll see if anything happens in that one when Blake cuts her hair or when Gamble gets fixed, because, you know, we do have the little yellow stripe. We'll see if they do anything with that. If they don't, hey, we still got a whole volume to go.
Yeah.
But another reason, besides the personal reason and all that I love this ship is for the cosplay picture that we did, and that's their connection to Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast is my favorite fairy tale, and I'm sorry, their fight with Adam at the end of Volume 6, it is almost a recreation of Belle and the Beast versus Gaston. It also kind of symbolizes, you know, now that it has been confirmed,
yes,
that Adam is not only Gaston, but also the Cursed Rose. It also symbolized, you know, them overcoming the curse that the Cursed Rose has. Which I'll cover in a Bumblebee video at some point. We want to see how Volume 7 goes before we make any long-term plans with that. And sorry if this came off as a little bit of a tangent. It's just that I've seen so many bad hot takes during the Volume 6 hiatus that it's kind of hard not to talk about them when it comes to Bumblebee. But
on a note of that cosplay, we will be doing another shoot with that. It got dark too fast, but he made it work for us. But we plan on to do a little more in depth of a shoot with that, because
also when we were wearing that cosplay at the con, we had people that didn't even know us come up and tell us, yes, they see the Beauty and the Beast parallel.
And like we kept getting stopped and we were getting noticed, and just like, wait, you're Blake. Like, they were connecting it, and we had one guy that sadly, unfortunately, back somehow, even though the symbol was clearly there on the back of the jacket, thought he was stunned. But then when we told,
I had no tail.
No, and when I told him, he goes, "I'm so sorry." He goes, "I am so sorry."
I think he did that because of how
how
triggered some people get over ships in RWBY.
And he said he ships a lot of things, and that was one thing he said, but he didn't realize, because all he saw was his side and his back, and he didn't see her little cowlick thing, the top of her head, that he's got as well. But yeah, he just kind of, because I'm so sorry.
But yeah, it's right up there with Kurosami for me.
We also switch.
Yeah, though she's more, personality-wise, she's more Blake, I'm more Yang, because I have a bit more of a temper than she does.
And again, that video will tell you so much.
Plus, she's more of a reader than I am.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and we're not typical shippers in that we will attack people for not liking our ship, but I'm very blunt and very honest and opinionated when it comes to that. That's just how I was raised. I was raised with the very, I'm not here to save your feelings attitude, because both my parents didn't try to save my feelings when they told me their opinion on stuff. Um, so if I come off as harsh, I'm sorry, but I'm going to tell you what I think. Um, and when somebody gives a really bad take on how they interpret the show, and I give them a look like, "What kind of show are you watching?" Because it's not the one I've been watching. Um, and there's a lot of that in Ruby. Like, I thought Dragon Ball could be bad sometimes, but some of these people who come out of the Ruby fandom, and not just shippers, it's just
in general.
in general, it's just like, what is going on with this fandom? Because because I mean, I love the ship. And I'm always a live and let ship, as long as it doesn't hurt anybody, as long as it's not an awful ship like Enabler or something like that, where you're shipping incest, then I'm fine with it. If you like Black Sun, hey, great for you, but don't attack me and try and push your opinion as fact. That's one thing that really makes me mad, is when people take either their opinion or their headcanon and try to pass it off as fact.
The only other fandom that I've actually come across some few like toxic people actually would have been Final Fantasy, and it's as well, 13 and everything. And I mean, I've come across someone who, I mean, I talk to them, but they ship Lightning and Hope, and they try to justify it when he's the older version, But in 2, no, it doesn't
Especially
matter.
when there was no interaction between the two.
No, there's nothing there. But they'd turn around and personally attack me because I only ship Lightning and Fang. I can't ship anybody else, and that's just my personal thing. Plus the things we know.
Though originally I shipped Lightning with Vanille.
For me personally, it was just that. But if you're gonna turn around and attack me, I mean,
yeah,
that's like attacking a cosplayer. Okay, you don't look like a character.
Yeah,
You don't
it's
do that.
It's kind of sad, because I've made friends with people and online, stuff like that, and it just seems like the moment shipping comes up, and you tell them, hey, I don't agree, blah 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 blah, they automatically turn on you.
And that's not the kind of thing that anyone wants in a fandom.
No.
Like, and even Rooster Teeth has said they don't want the toxicity in the fandom. That's not what they're wanting to do. That's not what they're wanting to have represent.
And it's kind of sad, really, because now that the Bumblebee versus Black Sun shipping war is pretty much over, a new one has started, thanks to Volume 7. Chapter 1's out now, so I don't think it has to have a spoiler warning anymore. But now that Penny is back, and it's weird, I had joked about it before Volume 7 even started. If Penny comes back, we're going to have a ship war between White Rose and Nuts
we
and
joked
Bolts.
about it. It was,
and it really happened. They started attacking each other, and it's just sad, because I was told White Rose shippers and Nuts and Bolts shippers get along.
But bring the factor of Penny coming back and all that, then that started a war. I mean, we're not going to turn around and say, hey, don't ship that, don't ship that. No. And
you're allowed to ship whatever you
can
want
ship
to.
anything.
Just don't
force it on somebody.
Yeah.
If they don't like it, okay, just say, all right, well, that's my ship, I like it, there's your ship and you like that,
Like, if anyone decides to comment this and say, Bumblebee sucks, blah blah blah, or anything like that, then
that we're attacking White Rose or anything. No. I mean, we write stories like fan fiction things, and we use White Rose. We use things like others. I know another ship that I like is
Summer and Raven.
Yes, I don't know. I love it.
Callie and Sienna.
Yeah, we actually use that a lot too. I like Sienna a lot.
Yeah, I did too. God, that was a character who had wasted potential right there. Was Sienna Khan? Like seriously? Okay, this doesn't need to turn into a Ruby video,
Yeah.
but
But yeah, if regardless of your ship in any fandom, don't push it on somebody else. I
yeah,
mean,
and don't
these are the ships that we listed. They have a lot of meaning to us, even if they're just little like a
even though they're
childhood
fictional
thing.
characters,
Yes.
fiction can sometimes relate to reality in a lot of ways. That's one of the reasons why it's so successful.
That's one reason why a lot of these ships and things we cosplay them, because we have some part of a reality or a childhood or something that relates, and it just means so much to us to do it. That's why we love doing it. We love creating the cosplays to show to everybody and seeing everyone's reaction. Yeah, you've got your cosplay elitist, as they call them, that will tear you down, but it's the same thing with any fandom as well. But you have one person versus 1,000 that will say, "Oh my gosh, I love you." We had a little girl that I met at a tiny little convention in Ohio, and she just wanted to say hi to me. That led to a picture, and the next con she sought me out, and to this day she still calls me her Sailor Moon. Before I moved, I about cried, but I wanted to see her one last time and give her a gift, and this is one thing that makes everything worth it that we do as well. And we met at a park, and he remembers seeing this. She ran down the sidewalk to me and into my arms, and it was the sweetest thing. And I passed her my very first tiara I ever made, and as far as I know, she wanted to wear it to school the next day. She cried because she couldn't wear it to school. But it's things like that. You've got one person that comes after you versus 1,000, like that will make everything worth it. It's
Um, and also, if you're one of them people who hunt down people's Twitters, look for YouTube videos to like, say your ship sucks, or just you're just one of those people that just wants to
comes to
start
it.
stuff.
Yeah.
Screw off. Like really, like go get a job, go outside, do something more meaningful with your life, because you're not going to change anybody's opinion. You know, if you comment Bumblebee sucks, it's not going to change their minds.
I've seen people go on tutorials and like nothing relating to a ship even, and they'll
Yeah.
say, "Okay, well this ship sucks," or "This game sucks. Why are you doing this?" Same thing with our tutorials. When I do mine, or both of us, don't do that. No,
No.
it's most case. You're probably not going to get that comment approved. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, because we do approve our
yeah,
comments.
if you're gonna sit there and come on our channel or anybody's video and just trash them,
We're just gonna
we're
we're just
not
gonna
gonna.
laugh at you. I mean, really,
It's
I will at least. I'll laugh at you.
But I mean, don't do that. That's just spreading. That's more hate that you don't need to be spreading. And just because you want to sit behind and be a keyboard warrior, I'm sorry, don't do that
Yeah,
to
it's
anybody.
very easy to talk tough behind the screen. But anyway, I think this video's went way too long. Um, but this was just a fun little video we wanted to do.
We wanted to share our ships that mean a lot to us, and
Yeah.
eventually we will actually do a full, like a Ruby ship video of all a lot of the ships that we like, or some of the popular ones.
And if you want us to talk about one of your favorite ships, let us know. Um, it got a little serious there. Sorry, but that happens when you talk about shipping. It seems like every time even the word shipping comes up, people have a fit. But our next video that we are going to be recording will probably be tomorrow, and that'll be our Chapter 3 reaction and our analysis. Like I said, both of those will be on Patreon first. Hopefully, our Chapter 2 reaction will get unblocked and will be up tomorrow, but if not, it'll be up Sunday, Monday, whenever it does. And then once that is posted, we will post our Chapter 2 overview. And we've also got 2 more videos planned for this week. They're going to be fun little videos. One has to do with Dragon Ball. The other one has to do with video games. So,
and we made a Twitter post earlier today. We do
almost
plan
forgot
to
about
do
that.
some Q&A like stuff on our Patreon, but right now, just since we don't have really high count on Patreon, Send us your questions. Anything. They can be about cosplay. They can be about video games. Okay. Sorry about that. We send us your questions.
Had to check on our dog.
Yeah, we questions about cosplay, about video games, anime, anything about us.
Send it to us on Twitter,
email,
anything like that.
any of our accounts. Just send us the questions. We wanna answer. We wanna do a video about this, and then later on, once we're able to have more Patreons, we're gonna do some more exclusive questions, and then those videos get posted live later on.
Yeah, this video and the other two are going to go straight up on YouTube because we need more content.
Yeah.
But same as always, guys, I think we're going to wrap this up now.
Yeah.
Same as always, if you want to follow us on Twitter, our Twitter links will be in the description. If you want to support us on Patreon, that link is there. If you want to look at our Etsy store, our Square store, look at our Facebook, that's all there. If you guys have any cosplay commissions, remember, she does them. She actually made this hoodie.
Yeah.
She made this. So if you ever want anything yes, she made that. Anything possible that you would be interested in having made, just contact her and she'll get you taken care of. But just remember to leave a like, comment, subscribe, click that notification bell, share the video, and we will see you guys next time in our next video. Bye-bye.
Bye.